All right, so let's start with the big story that we are tracking on WION at this hour. As the Omicron variant spreads across the world, scientists are rewriting their expectations for the pandemic for the next forthcoming year. In the United Kingdom, the new variant is on course to becoming the most dominant one. Now, cases in Britain are at an all-time high, and this has come at a time when the United Kingdom is gearing up for the festive season that's coming up from next week. Now, here are some of the numbers to show this unprecedented surge that Britain is witnessing. Last year, in the week before Christmas, the United Kingdom was recording an average of just about 23,000 cases per day. This year, believe it or not, the 7-day average is almost 63,000 confirmed cases. This is nearly 3 times the number of cases from last year. On Friday, the United Kingdom set another grim record, reporting over 93,000 new coronavirus cases, a third consecutive record in terms of the daily tally in the country. And in the latest, Wales has announced new COVID-19 restrictions which will come into force just after Christmas. It follows the moves in England and Scotland to try and keep the number of Omicron variant down. And this, of course, has left many Britons scrambling to make some alternative Christmas plans. They're facing the changing government COVID-19 rules. And also, interestingly, France has decided to shut off its borders with the United Kingdom. So far, the United Kingdom's government has stopped short of formally limiting socializing between people. But citizens have been asked to practice caution and also to exercise their common sense and not indulge in too many parties ahead of the festive season. For now, though, booster shots remain the only solution. Britain is pushing its citizens to receive booster jabs. Pregnant women have also been added to the United Kingdom's priority list for people who can, in fact, go ahead and receive their vaccines. Meanwhile, the G7 has called Omicron the biggest current threat to global public health. The G7 health minister earlier held their final meeting, hosted by Britain. The focus was, of course, on global access to diagnostics, genome sequencing, vaccines and therapeutics, in a bid to combat the spread of the Omicron variant. And we earlier spoke with our correspondent Chris Jones, who joined us live from London, and this is what he had to say in terms of what the British government is doing to plan ahead for the festive season.
Well, to put it very bluntly, yes, it is looking at a dampened Christmas. We heard the figures then. Almost 90,000 new coronavirus infections was reported. That was the last set of data that we got. Around 1,700 of those reported to be as a result of the Omicron variant. And because of those cases and the rising number, a lot of people are being really cautious at the moment around the UK, and that's really quite disastrous for parts of the economy, such as the hospitality industry. We've seen thousands of people cancel their Christmas parties, Christmas bookings across the hospitality sector, which is meant to be, this period's meant to be their most lucrative part of the year. So this kind of rise in cases has been disastrous for them, and they're asking the government for help with those issues. So there's a lot of nervousness around the rise in cases at the moment, and there's a lot of questions that have been still yet to be answered.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.